Good morning, everyone. Today is going to be part 2 of the JDM build. We're going to start heading over to Elusive Wraps, Peter's shop, and we're going to get to work on the Ralliart. We're going to start with doing the lower control arms, and then we're going to start doing some wrap prep. We might get some wrapping in today, maybe not, but we're going to go see, we're going to find out. We're going to start off actually with packing up the car. Then we're going to head over to online detailing store. We're going to pick up some parts from there, clay Mitt just to clay bar the car, and a few other prep items like, iron remover to remove all the iron fallout and stuff like that. So let's get started. Let's start the car, pack it up, and get headed out of here. So I'm here, just left online detailing shop. They're actually located at the same location that Ceramic Pro Markham's located at. So for now, picked up the stuff, picked up the fallout remover, the clay Mitt, and we can go over to Elusive Wraps and start preparing for the wrap. So we're here at Elusive Wraps and the day has not gone anything as expected. We tried to start the car just to move it and it died. It started and then just died. And I thought it was the battery, but it turns out that there must have been some air in the fuel system causing it to just die right away, which is not good, and not want to start afterwards. So we just kept cranking it and it started. Our theory of why it did that is actually because when the previous owner dropped off the car to us, there was about 20 kilometers of range. So it was like on empty, which is never good to do to a car. And because of that, there probably was a little bit of air in the system or some bad fuel, since the car did sit and wasn't really filled up in a while until we filled it up. So now the car's already started. Turns out that the lift here is actually in use today. So we're actually not able to get started on doing the lower control arms. Instead, we're just gonna get straight into focusing on the wrap for now. In that case, we start taking off the side skirts. The side skirts on the Ralliart are actually a little bit different than on the Evolution. They're all along the side, and it's not 3, there's multiple. And actually now Simone took them off already and she started washing the car. So there's the Jetta, and there we have Pierre and Simone starting to wash the car. So once Pierre finishes washing the car, we're gonna start taking off of some of the parts, like the bumpers, the tail lights, and a few other things. So taking off the spoiler was just these 2 bolts right here, 1, 2. And 1, 2. Other than that, it was just a whole bunch of adhesive. Now we're gonna start cleaning up the rest. All right, so I kind of forgot to film. We ended up taking off Simone's trunk. It was not fun, it was not easy, but we finally got it off. Surprisingly, it's only 2 screws right there and a heck lot of adhesive. So we'll take off the adhesive.
That's called the spoiler, not the trunk.
Sorry, the trunk. Well, we took off the spoiler off the trunk, and now she's wingless. But Simone doesn't want to keep it that way for long. All right, next is going to be taking off a few other things and starting to clean the inside. All right, next step is we're going to take off the badges. The way that we're going to do it for the Mitsubishi, should probably zoom out a bit here. What I'm going to do here for the Mitsubishi emblem, I'm going to use the taillight as a reference point and mark it down, and then put tape up, and also probably from the bottom as well. So later when we go to put it back on, we'll know exactly where it goes. We're going to do that for here and for the emblems on the side. The Mitsubishi and the Lancer is probably not going to go back on. We're just going to put the Ralliart badge, and we got a different Ralliart badge to add on to it as well. I'll see if I can time lapse this of us working on this, and we can go from there. Emblems are off. Just waiting for some of that adhesive remover to help remove that. And we're good to go. Look at that D-badge clean trunk. Simone doesn't like D-badged. So we have them sized out here. We have, you know, the Mitsubishi writing, the rear emblem showing where the taillight is, and the little Ralliart logo. Next up is to finish cleaning that up, and we're gonna start clay barring the car. Next up, washing inside all the door jambs. Clean up the door jambs first, and any other spots where a rat might be getting into. And then we're gonna start clay barring the car. We're at the point of taking the taillights out. We kind of forgot to record, but we actually used some iron remover and iron buster is what they call it, wheel and paint decon remover. It actually cleaned up the paint quite a bit, but the paint is still kind of shot, so that sucks. But now we're on the point of taking off the tail lights, taking off the headlights. The headlights are gonna be next after those tail lights, and prepping it to actually get ready for wrap. So once we have those off, we can start clay barring the car. And once it's clay barred, it'll be basically ready for wrap. Yeah, it's not fun, is it? You having fun?
I'm trying to.
Headlights, right here. One, two. Take those two off.
Ready?
Okay, that's good, Simone, it's off. Good. You take it off and put it in the baking.
Okay.
Go,
Okay,
do it,
ready?
Simone. Go ahead.
Oh my god, it's stuck. It's really rusty. Okay, move.
Now we're taking off the bumper. In order to take off the bumper, it's 10 millimeters here, 10 millimeters down there, and then another one over there. The one that we didn't know existed, actually, let me grab a flashlight. We got a 10 millimeter up in there, actually. And then we have these plastic screws, another 10 mil there, and then 10 millimeters all underneath in order to take off the bumper. There's quite a few 10 mils. Same on this side. There's that 10 millimeter right there. Oh, there. And then those, and that 10 mil. We're gonna get to taking those off as Simone is attempting to take one off. There's also two 10 mils right there. One there and one right there. With my horrible recording, what we're doing here now is, Simone, show, we have a clay mitt. So instead of clay barring, we're using a clay mitt, and we're using soapy water, and we're basically claying down the car. Make sure you spray it so it's not dry. You don't want to do this dry.
No, it's not dry.
We're basically clay barring the whole car down, and once we clay bar the car, we can get the remaining touches done, like we gotta fix some rust spots. Then we are prepped to start wrapping. Pierre is most likely gonna start wrapping during the week, and we will go from there. We also need to actually wet sand this here. So we're mostly done. I'm just finishing up clay barring the roof. Simone is just cleaning inside the trim on the top. And then soon we'll be able to take off that rear bumper, fix up that little bit of rust we got there. Then wet sand this crap. So let me finish clay barring the roof now. Okay, so now we're just dealing with that rust that I was talking about before. right here, we're just sanding it down to bare metal, trying to get as much of it out as we can. So still a little bit there to go. And then once we're done that, we're just gonna lay some primer on it. The car's gonna be wrapped anyway, so it doesn't matter if we paint match or not. So we'll just spray some primer there and just wrap over it. The next job is gonna be up here. We're gonna take some of the higher grit, 1,000, 1,500, or 3,000, and we're gonna start wet sanding it. For now, we're gonna finish with this, and that's about it. Back to sanding, I guess. We're all done fixing up the rust. Time to prime it, and then we can get to wet sanding.
I knew it. I knew it.
Another clip. So, forgot to record again, as always. But now we have decided to take off all the vents, prep the hood for wrapping as well. We're about to take out the sprayers for the wiper fluid. Right there. Bumper is off. Side markers. Actually, these side markers are really easy. You just kind of push them forward and they pop out. They're really nice and easy and convenient to take out. There's my little rust repair. Gotta do a few more coats of primer just to clear it out. I still haven't wet sanded the top. The rear bumper is off. Rear tails are off. Side marker here is out. Also removed all the junk and gunk from behind the fenders. Yeah, let's continue. I think we're gonna end it off here for tonight. We got a lot of the prep done. We got the bumpers off. We actually primed the rear quarter where there was a little bit of rust. There's a few other rust spots I do want to touch up quickly before we decide to start wrapping the car, but we are a good portion there. Pierre did a lot of the work. Simone did a lot of the cleaning.
Did most of the work from this chair here. But, you know, supervisors have the hardest job. You broke that.
Yeah, I just broke it.
What I have to deal with.
Whoops. So, vents are out. Hood, I clay barred again. Should be, the nozzles are out. But we're almost there. So, a little bit more prep, a little bit more time, and she'll be ready to get wrapped. But I think for tonight, that is it. And I think we'll end it off there. So, thank you very much for watching. And we'll be back next weekend with a bit more work on the Mitsu.